Hey guys, back to video blog land. I'm back in Toronto and I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you, BC. I can't say that enough. I just did a version of this video blog that was way too long, so I'm going to leave it at thank you, BC, to everyone who was a part of that, to everyone who allowed that extraordinary trip that I won't forget anytime soon to happen. I'm tremendously grateful and thank you for an amazing experience. Last night was the first time I got to come home to my own place and not feel like I was putting somebody out in a long time. So that was a special feeling as well. I'm going to do book reviews this particular video blog because I made it a mission to read at least one book a week this year and let you guys know what I think of them. If you have suggestions for ones that you think I'd enjoy or that you'd like someone to test drive for you, let me know and I'll be more than happy to do so. Today I have two, both of which I suggest you pick up and read. One I absolutely loved beyond all measure. The other one I think you may love beyond all measure. And there was just one thing that kept it from being that way for me. I'm going to start with that one. The Leader Had No Title, Robin Sharma. I was exposed to Robin Sharma for the first time by one of our first speakers in Inside the Leader Circle, a guy by the name of Jeffrey Feldberg. And he's a friend of Robin's, and he brought in his book, The Monk Who Sold a Ferrari, and gave it out. And so I've been sort of tracking Robin since, and I added him as a Twitter friend and constant tweeter, and sends all kinds of really great little blips out, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and read the book. I love this book. This is a great book, and I suggest you read it because at its core is the idea that we need to understand that leadership doesn't require titles. And of course, if anyone's seen me speak, a big part of what I'm saying is that leadership it has been made something bigger than us. This book is about reinforcing the idea that it's not bigger than anyone. Titles aren't necessary. You are necessary. And I love this book. However, the only thing that, actually let's hold off on that. Let me tell you why I love this book. Things that really jumped out at me. The idea that even with extraordinary talent, when you are excellent, the move from excellent to great is a big jump. And that when you have great skills and then you're taught by somebody a new process, new skills that will lead to great, there will be a moment where you're not as good because you have to learn the new process. Great skiers are taught have a great technique, then they're taught a few things that change it to make it extraordinary. And what happens is, for a little while, they're worse skiers because they have to incorporate the new lessons in. We have to tear down to build up, and that happens. The idea that if we try to change our entire life right away, we're setting ourselves up for failure. Small incremental improvements. Start getting up earlier. All right. Start exercising a little bit more. Start eating better, but not all at once. You're going to completely freak your mind out. Learn a little bit, new habits along the way. I really like that idea. Break down to build up, and don't try to change everything at once. Small incremental steps. Life is long. The one that I think struck out at me, two things huge. One, that personal leadership isn't about improvement. It's about remembering. It's about remembering there's nothing really wrong with you now. And it's remembering that you're extraordinary. It's remembering that you have power and skills. And it's about adopting new behaviors and perspectives that make it easier to remember that. But we think it's all about getting better and improving. It's not. It's remembering there's nothing wrong with you the way that you are. But you need to adopt new ways of finding that within yourself every day to not lose sight of that fact. But I think the most powerful thing about that book, this book, was he said only hurt people hurt. And he meant only hurt people hurt other people. And I hate hurting people. Every time I think I do, it destroys me. One of the things I always wonder if I could ever truly be an extraordinary leader, although I'll seek to do so, is this idea that it tears me up when people don't approve of something I did or said. And you have to get beyond that to truly have the courage to make changes. But it really bothers me when I hurt people. And I often see people disagreeing with me or getting frustrated with me as me hurting them. And the idea is that you don't hurt people. It comes from a time when you were hurt yourself. And if you're someone who doesn't want to hurt other people, you have to let go of the hurt that's happened to you. Because it's the hurt that happened to you in the past that comes out when you hurt other people. And so, to truly be someone that rarely does it, we have to find a way to let go of the things that hurt us, and we need to heal. I met a girl at Kwantlen when I was in BC, and she's from Afghanistan, and she's moved around the world. Ridiculous conditions and things that she's seen, and she's never been anywhere for more than 3 years. And she said, the thing I've noticed the most is that where I'm from, you can see evil coming often. Not always, but often you can see evil coming. It's somebody with a gun. It's somebody with a bomb, someone who's out to hurt you and the people you care about. Over here I found that you can't always see evil coming. that people can bring it to you in a way that hurts you from the inside out. And it's so much harder to heal from the inside out than it is something that cuts you on the outside in. And I think that hearing her say that and reading this idea that only people who've been hurt will hurt others opened my eyes to the fact of how important it is to heal and how crucial healing is to being the people we want to be and how big a part forgiveness is in healing. And that was a really big eye-opener for me. Seth Godin's Linchpin. Oh, sorry, the one thing about this book and it might work for all kinds of other people. I'm a storyteller. I love stories. This is not, hey, I'm Robin Sharma, here's what I think. He's created what he calls a leadership fable. So he's created a fictional character, probably based on himself, I don't know for sure, named Blake. And he tells the story from Blake's first-person perspective of Blake's transformation into understanding this leading without a title philosophy. And it doesn't work for me. It kind of was the one thing that always nagged at me throughout the book that bothered me, because for me, I think it was like when you brought in a play into high school or worse into university that had such a clear message they wanted to get across that people would say things within the play to clearly make a point that would never occur in everyday conversation. And I found that's the case with the story in this book, is that for me, I visualize when I'm reading what's happening on the page is happening on a screen in front of me. And I found that some of the conversations and the interactions were not anything that you'd ever hear. If you heard it, you would think people were putting on an act to look impressive or to make the people watching start to think a certain way, which of course is what's happening. But the realism isn't there for me, and that's just a thing for me. The power of what's in here is so good, though, that I still give it a massive thumbs up, even though that really bothered me. It's like when you bring somebody into university to do a play or a presentation, and they have to sort of talk to the middle or the bottom, people who won't get the nuance of their argument, so they have to make it sort of hit you over the head with it. And that didn't work for me. But other people might love it. I don't know. That was the only thing I had to live about the book. It's an amazing book, and it will change many things for you.